Hey everyone, Jeff here, and welcome to another Elder Scrolls Legends gameplay video. Today we are continuing our Return to Clockwork City Let's Play with Episode 4, Race Against Time. Now, I know that when I started this Return to Clockwork City expansion, I said that I wanted to play a bunch of different decks that I just wasn't playing all the time, and everyone wasn't seeing repetition. That said, I got myself a little bit behind on daily quests because I've just been extremely busy with work, and I've only had the chance to play a few games a day, 2 or 3 games a day, just to check in, get my rewards, etc. And I have 2 quests right now, which I'm almost done with. One is to complete Scout Victories, and another one is Sorcerer, and of course I have the Telvanni deck, which completes both of those simultaneously if I win a game. So we're going to take that out in the first match here today. I want to say that I only have 1 win left, maybe 2. Once we complete that, check that 140 gold off our list, then we're going to diversify and play some other stuff. So where do we want to go first? The stars or the city? Let's check out the city first.
Amazing. This entire chamber appears to be a machine of breathtaking complexity.
So are those automatons that look ready to kill us.
You have 3 levers to help you win the game, but you can only use 1 each turn. Okay. So we're going to use the Telvanni deck. I still have it labeled as jank, and the reason I still have it labeled as jank, by the way, is because I have been playing a little bit of ranked play recently, and I think this build is pretty good, by the way. Just to review, I did make some changes. One extremely notable change, which we can discuss in this video, is because I'm playing the Breton race, when I leveled up, I earned High King Emmerich as a level up reward, and I think this card is incredible. I actually don't want to go on a rant here about why I think this card is good. We can save that for another video. Pretty sure everyone who is watching this video and has either played this card in their own deck or played against it can share my sentiment here. So, added that in. This kind of serves as a mid-range deck. On the more controlling side of things, it can be aggressive with some of the reach and the power that we can put on board. It can also play the long game and outvalue our opponent with things like Orb, Night Shadow, Nahagleave, Eclipse Baroness. Devaith's experiments, by the way, on Eclipse Baroness is value that is, I can't even describe. I got this combo off twice. Both times my opponent conceded, because you basically play an Eclipse Baroness on turn 8, let's say, or turn 7 with the ring, whatever. You draw your card, and then the following turn, if you have Devaith's experiments in hand, you can either summon another one to draw another card, and then you use the Betray mechanic to either sacrifice the first one, which draws you a card when it dies, and then you summon another one and you draw another card. So this one Devaith's experiments essentially puts 10 power, additional power on board for 9, and in addition to that, it either draws you 2 cards and reduces them by 2, or potentially, if you betray your own Eclipse Baroness, it can draw you 3 cards and reduce it by 2, all for 9. All that said, it's so conditional that if it wasn't the only card that I had in these 3 colors to play this deck, I might not even play it, because it's one of those things where if you get it off, you can kind of steal a win, but if not, sometimes you just stare at this card in your hand and it doesn't do anything. So, yeah, still playing a bunch of garbage like the unupgraded Volkihar Lord and whatever, but hey, it's a high-end card. I did cycle Hallow Death Priest in since we unlocked them in this expansion. I tested out Reverberating Strike, which I found to actually be a lot weaker than I originally gauged it at. I never got a 2-for-1 with it, and I often was holding it in my hand thinking this is not as good as Lightning Bolt, even though it costs 1 less, and I would just rather have an actual other turn this play. So I cycled it out. So we're just going to try to get our victories with this deck in this match. Or at least, you know, until we complete the objective. And then, you see, I also have Pilfer Monk, and I had daily quests to pilfer and transform werewolves and whatever. So that's why you see me just getting a little silly with some of the deck builds, just to, you know, accomplish those daily quests and whatnot. So the gold for new players is invaluable because it allows you to, you know, unlock other decks and stories and whatnot. So, and then of course also enter events and things. So, all right, let's see what our levers do. And all right, I don't really think that it matters what the levers do. I'm not sure we need Giant Bat right away, so I'm just going to redraw that, and we'll keep this solid 2 drops. All right, so we have summon a 1/1 reconstructed spider. You can only use 1 lever per turn. What is, oh my, what is happening? Alright, I'm sorry for freezing there, but you'll excuse me because my opponent just put 19 power on board on turn 1. The most power I could put on board on turn 1 is 2. Let's see what these levers do. Give a creature +3/+0. Alright. Sacrifice a creature to destroy a random enemy support and gain 3 health. Yeah, we need to get rid of them immediately. And then summon a 1/1 reconstructed spider. So I think what we do here is use the charge, Shrieking Harpy. Once we have a creature out, sacrifice Shrieking Harpy to destroy a random enemy support, which will be one of these. We'll Harpy down the biggest threat, which in this case is Gearwork Spider. And then pass the turn. Okay. So, I mean, we went from our opponent having 19 power on board that turn, that could actually do damage us, to 6, which I think is actually much better. And then we can do a similar combo next turn with Thieves Guild Recruit, draw ourselves a card, and then also sacrifice it, gain some life back, destroy this, and then try to... Okay, that's fine. They're going to draw a card, but they can't play anything else this turn. We're going to take 1,000,000. Okay, we want Brotherhood Slayer to stick, so we kind of have to go Thieves Guild Recruit. Let's cycle first. That actually is really good because we can... I mean, I don't think we can afford to take 13 here. I think we have to... Yeah, and now we take 1. And we may have just totally stabilized. I mean, I doubt it. This deck probably does some other shenanigans. Playing that out for no value is fine. There's a 1 of Ice Storm in this deck, which could end up being a complete bomb in this playthrough. I think what we do here is we go Brotherhood Slayer over here to contest this and start getting... Or maybe we just put it over here to contest this and start getting contracts. We don't care about that 2 damage for now. And then we can use this on Brynholf if we get it to stick, and I think at that point having a 7/5 probably just wins us this match. That is also fine. Yes. So let's play Brotherhood Slayer here.
Just give me a name.
We'll put a reconstructed spider here. And my reasoning is because next turn we can play Brynholf somewhere, use this to give this reconstructed spider +3/+0, trade it into this, start getting contracts, going to Value Town. Alright, well, that's Oh. Tremendously good. Tremendously good. Okay, well, I guess we put Sadras Agent over here then.
We'll stand together.
Take this trade like I predicted we would. Has turn. We're a turn behind playing Brynholf, but I think that's fine. Now we can start clearing some of this nonsense up. That actually could be really good with this. Transform a creature into a random creature that costs 1 more. That's not actually too great, huh? And this is a real problem because we don't have an answer to a 6/6, unfortunately. So I think we're actually just going to end up taking a million. That's fine.
Shall we put in a dishonest day's work?
Put that there. And I want to give our opponent other targets. I'm not sure if the AI goes for that. I think they're programmed to just always go face. That is extremely unfortunate. I think we 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. Yeah. So we need to get rid of that again. Which is... Our opponent had to have that this turn, right? Like, if we had faded one more turn, we would have been totally good. We need to sacrifice this, right? Like, is there... Do we have a better play than that? I don't think so. I think we lose this match 100%. I can say that much. We're going to have to Sanctuary Pet this, I think. We do that first because now we can do this and gain 4 health and Brynholf takes no damage.
I can smell it.
Alright, now we have 7. How can we use 7 to our best advantage here? We can Sanctuary Pet that. Just so it doesn't attack. Just so it doesn't attack. I mean, I don't think it's great, but it's what we're gonna do. Play this here. Like, if he plays another one of those things, we just lose anyway, right? Like, is it worth going Preserver of the Root here? Because then if our opponent has another one of those things, he's gonna take this trade and we lose our health. But then we would take 9. Like, we would technically still be alive. Not by any significant number. But if we put this here, this would eat 2. I think it's more important to try to keep this alive, as silly as that sounds. Or maybe it doesn't sound silly. I don't really know. And then we can also do this and start getting through some of those creatures. Okay. Okay. I don't care about my opponent's health at all. Okay. I mean, alright, this worked great. So we want to go attack here, sure point this, spider that, Brynholf this with the +3, +0 enhancement. That's the line, I think. Let's consider whether there are other lines, because we have 6, and then we can put the Dark Guardian over here to protect the Brynholf again. Yeah. I think I'm getting a little better at seeing lines of play in this in this game. We also could have Galened in Dark Guardians, which might be really great, but I also have bats in this deck, and I found that if I can somehow pull off using Galen on a bat, or even like a Cliff Racer, for instance, like having 7/7s for, 7/7s with charge to close out games is absolutely bonkers good. So if we've stabilized at this point, I don't think that using Galen on Dark Guardian is that great. We could always use it on Preserver, which for 1 more mana gives us a 6/6 guard instead of a 2/5 guard base, you know? So that was the logic behind just jamming the Dark Guardian here. I want to protect Brynjolf at all costs, because if this survives even just 1 more turn, I think we kind of auto-win. Alright, our opponent has 1,000,000 of those. Yep. Alright. Sure, all of these things are fine. We want to play something disposable. Like, actually, we don't need to even play something disposable. We can even just do... We can kill this. We want to get this off the battlefield before we attack into here with Brynjolf, so that, once again, Brynjolf takes no damage. So, there's a couple ways we could do this. We could either play Galen out and target something, but again, I don't know that we have what we want to target in our hand. Or we could just sacrifice the ward on this, kill this thing, and then use it to destroy that. Kill this, this stays alive, but that seems fine. Kill that. Gain 1,000,000 life. Go to 9, which is really good. So here's where I'm talking about where we could use this even on Brynjolf, just to make a bunch more life gain, but I don't think we need that. I actually think we may want to use this on Galen. Like, if we find a really great Galen target, we may just want to play Galen and then use this on him, so we shuffle just, like, infinite value into our deck. So what do we want to do now? Like, I think we want to save this for something that costs, you know, 11. We don't have an 11 drop in this deck. Never mind. Never mind. There's really good 9 drops. There's really good 8 drops. Like, I think we just hold on this. We could Hallow Death Person and just see what that card is, although that seems really, really weak. I don't necessarily think it gets better than this, though, so... Yeah, okay. That's fine. Play it for no value. I'm just going to put a Preserver over here to really lock down both lanes. I don't think this is going to be what we want to shuffle in with Galen. That's why I'm comfortable making this play. Sure. Oh, okay. Totally fine. Yep. All of this is totally fine. I just want to draw a useless creature. Like Elusive Schemer. Oh my god. It couldn't get more perfect. We're going to draw a card. Lucian, incredible. We're going to sacrifice it to destroy... Oh god, that was not what I wanted at all. This is now out of reach of these two things, technically. I still think we play Lucian, right? So we play Lucian. We make this beefy. Or the guard. It just becomes a 5/5 then anyway, so yeah. Alright. Maybe punch a bit? I don't know if this is right. No prophecies. One more chance for a prophecy. No prophecies. Okay. Do we want to turn this into a 5? Do we want to turn this into a 6? It's kind of served its purpose, right? Turn this into a 6. What do we sacrifice then to do it again? We don't really have any great combos on board for that yet, so we'll wait. All of that is fine. That is... Oh... We're going to shuffle in 3 more Eclipse Baroness? Yes, please. Yes, please. But we're not going to do that. I think we're just going to try to win here. We can go...
I can smell your fear.
It doesn't even matter. Yeah, we just... Sure. Got past the last rune. That actually didn't end up being too bad, but let me tell you something. That support that gives everything +3 +0, and the only reason I didn't freeze and have to read it is because I did actually encounter somebody who played it against me. So look at that, boom! Everyone got to see me duel complete. And now look, I am a total baller. Obviously, 465 septims. Can we call them septims? Alright, Hulking Fabricant. Let's see what this is. 5 for 5/5. Summon. If you have a colorless card in play, +3 +3. Wow. So you could get an 8/8 for 5. Now, normally I say cards that don't really do anything are not as good as cards that do something. So where do you draw the line between a card that does something and doesn't do something? Like, this card technically doesn't do anything, right? You just play an 8/8 on turn 5, which actually, again, it's so strong on turn 5. That's what makes it good. Because, like, this effect is not necessarily doing something. It buffs it, but... I don't know a better way to put this other than it's kind of like that Argonian that is a 4-drop and you get a 4/4, but if you have 7 or more max mana, you get a 6/6 with guard instead. You only ever really play that card when you can get that buff. So I feel like this is another one of those cards where you really only play this when you can cast it as an 8/8 versus a 5/5. And in a colorless shell, I think that would be really, really cool to try. I mean... an 8/8 on turn 5 is something that a lot of decks can't answer. Like, if you're not playing yellow, where you have access to Piercing Javelin or Edict of Azura, and yeah, I'm starting to get to know card names better, so woohoo. I think you have a super hard time answering this on turn 5. So if you put this in kind of like a heavy hitting, you know, you throw this in a deck with, you know, Young Mammoths and... you know, some colorless things just for this to trigger or whatever. Yeah, that seems pretty. I mean, it seems pretty okay at the common spot. Let's put it that way. Is it playable? I don't know. I haven't seen anyone play it. So, Shulk Fabricant, and this is the blue version of this. 2/4 with guard. Summon if you have a colorless card in play. Put a random action into your hand. Okay, yeah. So, like, already I prefer the Shulk Fabricant over the Hulking Fabricant. And the reason is because this card does come out and do something. So, to pay 3 for a 2/4 with guard is alright. Like, Dark Guardian is 3 for a 2/5 with guard. And again, I've already discussed in another video the difference between having 4 toughness and 5 toughness. This dies to Lightning Bolt, that does not. So, in a vacuum, that card, in my mind, is infinitely better just because it survives Lightning Bolt. That said, this trigger effect is really, really, really cool. If you have the colorless card in play, you get a random action. And I know that it's random and there's a ton of actions in this game, so it's not even guaranteed to be a good action, but just the fact that you can get extra value seems cool. Like, I would definitely play this and this in like a colorless shell just to see if I could do some funky, janky stuff with that mechanic.
Look in the gears of the machine. Another memory star.
Cool. Well, we're
I've
just...
had so many apprentices over the years, but I believe the man I met today has the potential to rival them all.
Oh, the memory stars are the puzzles. This is what happens when you go a couple days in between playing the game. You forget. Alright, prove your worth to Sothasil by winning this turn. Let's do it. The last puzzle was not outrageously difficult, so I don't know if this one will be as well.
Great, Sothasil. Have I not shown I have the skill to enter the Hall of Contemplation?
You show much promise, Mechanar. Solve this last riddle, and I shall admit you.
Now, last time we played as Sothasil, I think. Man, I can't. How embarrassing is it that I can't remember? But the point is, the emotes were hilarious. So let's see what this character has to say.
Brilliance.
Brilliance. Awesome.
You're too kind, Master. It will be the death of you.
Like, somebody actually took the time to write unique emotes for these characters which only show up in these battles, right?
My intellect is sharper than that.
Ah.
Forgive me if I've overstepped my bounds. Grant me your wisdom, Master.
And this is the master he's talking about, right? So
You will respect my genius.
that's great stuff.
Excellent. I have learned much. Good day, Master.
And that tone, master. Alright, so what are we trying to do here? We have to do 6 damage to him. Now that I putzed around with all that, steal an enemy creature with 3 power or less until the end of turn. It gains charge. Give a creature -4/-0 this turn, and unsummon a friendly creature. If I steal this, this only happens on summon, so if it enters the battlefield under my control, it doesn't, this summon effect doesn't go off a second time, right? I doubt it. So this is 4. So what we can do is we can summon this, we can steal it, right? Gains charge, that's fine. So we steal this, we have to unsummon it, and then we can recast it for 4 and give something else. If we steal it, do we steal it in this lane? That's what I want to know. That has to be the play. Okay, that is fine. So now we have to unsummon this, cast it here, sacrifice that for the greater good, and win. Okay, so that actually wasn't too bad. The unsummon is what gave it away because, you know, enter the battlefield effects. Like, if they put the unsummon in your hand, that's probably what you had to do. So the puzzles here are neat. What do we get for that? That was the quickest, way quicker than a match, right? Oh, so we get the card that we just used. Is this good? There are lots of effects like this in Magic. Usually they don't cost 5. Usually it's like a 3-drop or something. You know, steal a creature, gains haste until end of turn. And you usually, what you want to do is what you try to do in gimmick decks like that, and I actually might even try to do it here, although I'm not sure if I have the card to pull it off. Now that Betray is a thing, what you can do is you can steal an enemy creature, and if you find a way that, like in Magic, what you try to do is you try to steal a creature, and then you also try to sacrifice it through some other effect that you have. So you basically are able to not only do damage to your opponent, but then also permanently remove the threat from the game. there are definitely combos in this game that you can sacrifice stuff. The betray thing specifically, and also, again, that pot effect. Man, I can never remember the name of that card. It's an enchantment, and you basically, you sacrifice something and blah, blah, blah. But if you use Mechanar's Will to do that, you could steal your opponent's, threat, let's just say, and then, either sacrifice it away or summon a copy of it or whatnot. So this is kind of one of those janky, needs a shell to work in cards, and I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good at all, especially because it's 5. If it was like 3, I think it would be super playable. But at 5, I don't think so. Even 4 might be okay. But again, in the 5-drop spot in yellow, you say, do you want to be playing Mechanar's Will or do you want to be playing Piercing Javelin, right? That's how that's how you evaluate the strength of the action. Like, what action do you want to be playing on 5? I want to be playing Piercing Javelin on 5, not this, most likely. So, and then Gearwork Spider, which, if you watched another video, I think I stole a Gearwork Spider with a Marak? I mean, I know I definitely did in a game somewhere along the way. It was the most embarrassing Marak ever. It's because I hit it with Sails Through Storms, and so I high-rolled Marak right off the top and stole a Gearwork Spider. I almost, looking back, rewatching that video, I wish I had just not done it, because that was just so disrespectful to steal a 1/1 with that card.
The apprentice possesses a dangerous intellect.
I do.
But to suppress such a mind would be a sin against potential, and so a sin against Sotha Sil.
Let's do another puzzle.
Dark day. Our annual pilgrimage to the heart of Lor Khan ended in disaster. It was only through a cunning trick that we escaped with our lives.
Again, win this turn. Dagoth which I now know is a god. We have to do 19 damage this turn? Are you kidding? Win this turn to allow your forces to retreat. At least we have some power on board, which is really great.
Behold, arrogant tribunal, the power of the heart flows through me and my minions. We are the gods now, growing stronger. As you grow weaker, it is time to pay for your betrayal.
Well, as my friends and I say, betrayal is betrayal. So, we have Dwarven Dynamo active, which, just as a side note here, I think in a colorless shell is pretty bonkers good. Like, you only get a 2/1 body out of it, let's be clear, but giving another colorless creature +3/+3, like, for 4, you essentially get 5 for power, total power and toughness plus guard. So that's how you have to look at the math here. For 4, you basically get 5 for guard, and you can split up where the stats go. So, well, you actually have to, because it says give another. So it looks like you can't just give the bonus to, it can't give its bonus to itself. Alright, let's see what some of this stuff does. Give all enemy creatures in this lane guard, sure. When ageless oh, okay. Alright, it is that kind of Tuesday. When ageless automaton attacks a guard, it gains +3/+0 and breakthrough this turn. So if we attack this, it just trades. We also have grappling hook, which I think I've seen already. +3/+2, summon, move an enemy creature into this lane. Okay. And then also give a creature guard. So I think the trick to beating this, and I'm going to have to do the math to see how this is going to work, but I'm pretty sure the trick to beating this is attacking through guards with these things to do the damage. Like, let's hypothesize here. Let's just play this out and see where it goes, because I don't really have a plan for this. I think that this is a bait card, but it's not actually what you want to be doing here. So let's say we grappling hook this over here. Alright. Now we can attack for 6. But let's not do that yet in case we want to... Oh yeah, no. This card has served its purpose. Attack for 6. Now, if we attack through this, it gets +3 +0, so it would be an 8. So we would do... So we need to do 4 more. And we can do exactly 4 by attacking through this card by giving it guard. Not bad.
Hold the heart. Escape while you can, Sofa Soul. I am patient. My victory will come.
Yeah, like, you knew that you weren't getting through these Frost Atronachs, right, with anything, so you basically just ignored them. So, when you do puzzles like this in games, because they do stuff like this in Magic, there's, like, you know, Magic for PlayStation or whatever, Xbox, they have, like, puzzle segments, and it's like, if you know that you can't get through something, or if you see something as, like, a bait card, almost don't even factor it into the solution, because you'll get held up on, how can I get through a 5/5 guard, when there's obviously no way the math checks out that you can do 10, like an additional 10 damage to then be able to kill your opponent. Like, Starsung Bard, Nord, 2/3 for 3, immune to silence, your unique cards cost 1 less. I wonder how many unique cards you could put in a deck to get value out of this. Like, this dies to everything, right? It dies to Crushing Blow, it dies to Reverberating Strike, it dies to Lightning Bolt, so it doesn't pass any of those tests. But you'd really want to play this probably on a turn where you could do this plus another at least 1 or 2 unique cards on the same turn. But I don't know. For this is a rare, right? And I don't think it's great. I hate to be so critical of the game because again, they print cards and they're unique and cards that they in the sense that they're cards that they've never printed before, not unique in the sense that they're unique legendaries, but you don't necessarily know how they're going to perform, but I do find myself a bit disappointed in the card quality of this expansion. The gameplay quality has been excellent.
I have learned. The heart is too important. A backup must be created. But where to store such a thing? I shall build a new chamber, beyond the inner curiosity.
That's it. That's where the heart must be.
All right.
Look, it's those meddlers. Let's see if we can slow them down. Do you feel that? The floor, it's moving.
The conveyor will send you to the incinerator, so be careful. Sure. So what do we want to play here? We already completed our quest with this. I don't have... See, my problem here is I don't really have any... I don't have great decks. I've just been getting wrecked on in ranked play. I'm not even going to lie. I really have. We really haven't had a chance to do anything with this Tribunal deck. I played it a few times, but not a bunch of times. Maybe I'll just play this, but maybe we want to play something aggressive because we're moving towards an incinerator. Like, I think we need to learn the map effect before we really know what deck is going to be good. But let's just run this through again. Why not? And if we find that the map effect is something that we need to build a deck to specifically tech for this, I say map, what I mean is match. You know, the match may have at the end of your turn, creatures here move. Creatures can be played here. At the end of your turn, creatures here are dealt 1 damage. Alright, so this actually might be cool because we're not playing, excuse me, something fell off my desk there. We're not playing creatures that have... Like, this survives 4 hits, right? So... Sure. And this, it just knocks the ward off.
If I fall, the heat will betray me.
That is fine.
By Arcade's beard, this day will be mine. Come and visit your judgment.
Chaos take you.
Get them! Confound you.
We'll take that trade. And now I think we just play Treeminder because even though it's going to immediately die, it ramps us into some other stuff. Like, it is tempting to play Dark Guardian. Like, the smart play is Dark Guardian. The greedy play is Treeminder, and it really just depends on what we think our opponent is going to do. Like, we don't have the information to know that, but I honestly think it's probably worth just getting to our endgame sooner rather than later. I forgot what deck I was playing for a second. Like, I don't think Treeminder really goes in here, but I think it's just something I had in the 3-drop spot. I've chronically made the greedy play in a lot of these matches, and you know, sometimes it pays off. I don't know for sure, but okay, sure. Oh, sure. Okay, that is fine. It is not fine, but yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. So we're a turn closer to that. Sure. I don't really care if this gets shackled. I'm not in it to play the short game. I'm in it to play the long game. Things like this, if it lands, will survive for a really long time. And, yep. Here we go. Now, this could do some devastating things. Alright. We're taking a bunch of damage. What do we want to... I don't want to lightning bolt either one of these things. I think we just save this.
My sword hand itches.
Sure. We're going to get a kill here, which is nice. We're 1 turn away from Loneth. I don't even know what we want to get, honestly. We could use Mage's Trick to just kill this and cycle, and I think we'll do that first. Been pretty impressed with Mage's Trick, just in terms of it having the ability to... and again, we're just going to play this out knowing that when it moves over here, it's going to die. But this last gasp effect is amazing. If it dies and it just shuffles a 0-cost 1 in, we can just cycle, 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 cycle. I mean, we'll just be cycling all day. So, like, if we take 1 more this upcoming turn, I don't care. Yeah, this is fine.
Come and visit your judgment.
Sure, 1 more, no, not a problem. I actually don't know if we have any way to gain life besides something like this, so I'm really hoping that this sticks. It doesn't look like our opponent is playing a deck with any kind of hard removal, especially not a 7/7 with Drain. So I'm just going to jam this, and I'm pretty sure that wins us the game. Sure. This is fine. Yes, all of this is fine.
They cannot hope to outwit me.
Still fine. Now, normally I believe in controlling the board and taking trades, but in this instance, I kind of don't want this to take any more damage than it has to. Like, if I can keep this alive for 3 or 4 turns, 0% chance that the roving freebooter wins the game, right? So, I'm thinking about Grizzly Gourmet on this, that way our opponent doesn't get a card out of it. And Loneth is tempting just to jam it, but we don't need to, so that it's silly to force it this early. Like, there's nothing tremendous in this deck that we want to get with this, I don't think.
I will prepare something special for them.
And then maybe at this point we do play Preserver of the Root, have a little bit more defense in this lane. It can take a couple hits.
I will protect the hist.
Yeah, save Dark Guardian, save Windkeep Spellsword, no reason to overplay. I think a lot of times in games you overplay, and we could play either one of these things, but we have so much control over what's happening. Our win percentage is so much higher than our opponents that there's no reason to overplay. This is going to die next turn along with that, so...
They cannot hope to outwit me.
Perhaps we need to adjust our methods.
Okay. Alright, steal a creature. That's actually pretty cool, because we could, like, steal something that does a life flip, but I don't honestly think it's important. Now, this is cool. We could attack this Lord into this Sweet Roll, and not only gain 7 more life, but also heal it, which I love. And then we'll do this. So we're going to take a bunch of damage, that's fine. We're going to heal, that's fine. I don't really think we want to use this card. I think we probably want to use Loneth, and just, I don't remember even what's in this deck, so this will give us the opportunity to look through it, and maybe we even just grab another Lightning Bolt. We can just start closing out the game. I don't even think it matters.
There's always a way, and I can always find it.
So let's see what else we have in here. We don't need any of these things. Revealing the Unseen could be hilarious. We could just grab that to have some fun with it. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Looks like I forgot to even put that Breton card I was just talking about. I don't even have that in here. Oh, how embarrassing. So let's do something hilarious. Do we want to go Orb? Do we want to go... do we want to go Revealing the Unseen and just have a bit of fun with... Yeah, why not? Why not? Pass. Sure.
Everyone pays a toll.
That is fine.
Everyone pays a toll.
That is also fine. Sure. Let's reveal the Unseen. Summon a random 1-cost creature in each lane. Oh yeah, we're doing it. What is this? Oh my god, Ungolem. This is so cool. We got a random, unique legendary out of Spellsword Summoning. And also, this, which survives this ping damage over here.
This should be fascinating.
Yeah, we'll attack. We probably should have just grabbed the Lightning Bolts so that we could win the game this turn. Now that I think about it. But when these move over here, we don't want them to attack the Lord. So let's give that guard. Should have drawn first with that, but wasn't thinking about it. Our opponent trying to get back in the game with giant bats. I've seen in this game someone down to 1 or 2 life, and they start chaining giant bat giant bat synergy with Galen, and also the purple shout, which brings it back from the graveyard. So, you know, it is amazing what I have seen happen in this game. But we're just gonna win. Well, I might have spoken too soon, but... Alright, like, why would you put that there, right? Oh, can you not cast creatures here? Is that actually a thing? Oh, you can't. That's right. So it has to go there. Oh, that's too bad.
I can't stand.
Well, that's the correct attack order by attacking with this first.
This should be fascinating.
And then the 6. Sure. So this was fun. Obviously, I need to add the other cards that need to be added here. I didn't realize that I hadn't played this in so long, and I had better cards for it. Alright, here's that freebooter. Treasure Hunt for a drain thing, +1/+1 in drain, and Treasure Hunt for a lethal thing, +1/+1 in lethal. So for 2, at best, you could end up with a 4/4 drain and lethal. So does this mean that if you also draw a... Like, there's items in the game that have drain, right? Or lethal. So if you also draw an item that has drain or lethal, it gets this buff. That's cool. That's pretty flexible. But again, the treasure hunt is like, now... the game, when the game originally came out, you were playing decks of 50 cards, right? Now if you play 3 attributes, you're playing 75. So if you put this in a deck of 75 cards, you just dilute the odds that you draw what you actually want to draw to get this card to trigger, which is, you know, obviously not great. And Firepot Spider, last gas, deal 1 damage to all creatures in this lane. Somehow, like... I wonder if it has lethal when it dies, if it still kills everything else in the lane, is what I just thought. Again, how tricky would that be to pull off? Probably very tricky. I don't see me ever using this card.
This way. I think I see another memory star.
Oh, another puzzle. Cool.
There was always a 47% chance Mechanar would seek my power. But he has done far worse. Today I found his test subjects. Acolytes modified against their will. Merged with beasts through steel and sorcery. Beautiful in their way, but abominable. There was only one thing to be done.
The betrayal. Win this turn. See, the main enemy here in Clockwork City, is that what's happening? Is that what we're leading up to? The big reveal that Mechanar is the big bad dude. Mechanar has confronted you in your workshop. Use the tools at hand to defeat him this turn. Sure. Oh. What? Like, I don't even know how this happens, right? Okay. Alright. Okay.
You would condemn me? Hypocrite! Fraud! This is what you strive for? The creation of the perfect life form!
You have misunderstood me, Mechanar.
This one looks like it's going to be a little bit more difficult because we somehow do have to either get through an 8/8 body or get around an 8/8 body. So let's see what we have at our disposal. Excavate. Draw an item or support from your discard pile. Draw a copy of a friendly creature. This just doesn't do, like, treasure hunt. None of that seems to matter. Treasure hunt. 3 colorless cards. Sacrifice this to summon an 8/8 Awakened Purple with Breakthrough and Guard to the lane of your choice. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking initially. We treasure hunt for 3 colorless cards to summon an 8/8. give it +1/+0. Stone throw one of these, try to win. Like, I don't know if that's possible, but we need to see what else is in our discard pile. Nothing. So draw an item or support from your discard pile. So we have the ability to cast all three of these things. 1, 2, 3 is 9, 10, and if we play this and we attack into something and we excavate it, we can even play it again. But 3 colorless cards is draw a copy of a friendly creature. So we need to draw a copy of a 0-cost card, Dwarven Spider. Because we would draw a copy of it, we would get a second one. And then returning the Steel Dagger would be the 3 that we need for this. So let's draw a copy of this. A million things trigger. We draw another copy. That triggers again. So now we need one more, and that would be the Steel Dagger. We don't even need to play these. So we need to put the Steel Dagger on this, attack into that, so the Steel Dagger gets into our discard pile. And then we need to excavate the Steel Dagger. Right. It doesn't even matter, honestly. And then we put the Steel Dagger on this. Stone throw this. And win. Our strategy was sound. We are a boss at this. These puzzles are good. I'm dangerously close to getting another level that everyone can see. Be something good. So, Kagudi. I'm pronouncing that maybe the right way. Fabricant. Summon if you have a colorless card in play. Summon a copy of this in the other lane. I'm just going to say summon a copy of this because let's be real. So this is in line with what we unlocked in the last puzzle or whatever, where we had the purple one and the blue one and now the yellow one. So I'm guessing there's also green and red, and we just haven't seen them yet. But this I'm sure will be either green or red. It's my intuition. So if you can pull this off, you put 6/6 power on board for 4, and it splits the lanes, which means that, you know, now you're diversifying where your threats are in the game. So I like this one a lot, and I like the blue one a lot. The purple one is, you know, it's just so much power on turn 5, but you do need to get to turn 5 to play it. But just like I always say about measuring cards, you've got this on turn 4, which is a 3/3, and sometimes you can trigger it, and sometimes you probably can't. In yellow, what else could you be playing on turn 4 that you might rather just want to play? Hint, it is Hive Defender. And now we just got that support that we used to win that game, which again is fine. I don't think that it is a bad support. If you put it in a colorless deck, it's always going to trigger. So it's kind of like, this is one of those in Magic the Gathering, and again, I reference this all the time. I hope no one minds, but it's kind of funny when you play another game and you have such a history playing one game, you really see that the new game has taken a lot of inspiration from the old game. There's an effect in Magic the Gathering called Suspend, and basically what you do is you cast the card for a certain cost. Let's say it's like a 5-drop card or something. You cast it for 1 or 2, and then every turn you remove a counter from it, and eventually you can cast the card. So you really only pay 2 to cast it, but it takes a while for you to get there. That's exactly what this reminds me of, right? Because this, you essentially are you're casting an 8/8 Awaken Imperfect, which I know is a thing, right? Because we've seen them. It's the 8/8 with guard or whatever. And of course Breakthrough. So basically, and I think the casting cost for that is like 3 or is like 8 or 9 or something. It's much higher than 5. But the point is, basically you're paying 5 for that card down the line. So if you just put this in a colorless deck and it makes it, then you pay 5 for the card which otherwise would be 8 to play. So
I cast Mechinar out of the city. Now I must rework the enchantments that sealed the Chamber of Lorcan to ones that Mechinar could never break.
There. I think I can see enough of the new enchantments in this memory to determine how to unravel them. Now we just need to find the chamber.
sure, let's this looks like a walking kind of thing, right?
Yes, this is the place. I can see the contours of the enchantment, but it's going to take tremendous power to break it. Perhaps the machinery here can help.
Whatever you're going to do it fast. The defenses are stirring.
Gain enough magicka to break the enchantment and win the game. So does that mean we want to play a ramp deck? Because I have a ramp deck. It's not great, but it exists. Let's try it. But actually, I think I unlocked another card that I can put in here. So let's just double check. I think I unlocked another Thorn Hiss Mage. I also got the Parthenax pre-made deck. I feel like Parthenax goes really good in Scout because the green Shout and the purple Shout are what seem to be played the most often. So if you've already played some number of copies of the green or purple Shout and you draw them off of Parthenax, then they're already level 3 when you draw them off of Parthenax, which makes them even better. I'm doing things like playing Dova of the Voice in this deck. Oh man, doesn't seem great, right? Oh my god, Galen, Nahagleave, I could be playing all these amazing cards that are better than what I'm playing. Yeah. Can I take some number of 3-drops out? Like, I could just take 3 3-drops out, right? Not really. Maybe since we're playing 3 Tree Minders, 2 Thorn Hiss Mage, and also 3 Spine of Elder's Blood to ramp, we don't actually need the Brotherhood Slayer to get there faster. Like, we have other cards built into this deck that do that for us, so we don't need this. It does have Prophecy, which I really like. It's the only card in this deck with Prophecy. So we're going to go down to 0 Prophecies, and our curve is kind of just, like, linear. I mean, I don't know that it's great, but I also don't want to spend a ton of time on this when I otherwise feel like it's okay. I probably want another Shearpoint Dragon in here, because I found that card to just be incredible. Like, if you already have one out, excuse me, I've had that happen where I'll already have one out and then cast another one, and, you know, just, there's a lot of stuff that has 3 toughness that dies to that. So you play a 4/4 creature and kill something for 6, that's pretty great. Let's just run this and see how it performs. Use the waiting generators to get Lana at the magicka she needs to break the enchantment and open the door. Oh. So is this... Does the ramp package not actually matter? I mean, if it doesn't matter, that's fine. At least we're just playing something different, but it doesn't look like it actually does make a difference. You win the game. Oh, it actually does matter. Okay, cool. Because if we ramp up to the point that we have, you know, ramped 3 or 4 times, and this just becomes that much more. This is when an enemy creature in this lane dies on your turn. Gain +1 max magicka, and this is just a 1/2 with ward, and the same effect is here. So Galen is cool. We may want to shuffle something in. How aggressive do I want to be with Dragontail Savior? Probably very. Yeah. Sure. This is working out great because now we can do this. Triggered. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to use a ring charge for Galen, but I don't... Like, Cicero is not a great target for Galen, because it's kind of cool if you can pull it off, but you don't just want to have a bunch of Ciceros in your deck. That's not what this card is about. Let the record show. Should have drawn first. Not that it would have mattered that turn or whatever, but still. Alright, so we're gonna... Alright, we're going to kill this turn. Go up to 5. And we have access to 5 this turn, which is not enough. But next turn we can... Like, this is going to die this turn. So, although it is tempting to use Galen on, like, the Viper, just so that we have more hard removal to get us there faster, I don't think it's great. Especially if our opponent just stacks this lane, it's really not great. Territorial Viper is only good against guards or creatures in the field lane, let's be real. Next turn, I'd rather just sheer point something. We'll be at 6. We'll have access to 7, so we could even play Dova of the Voice next turn. It is tempting to use Galen this turn to just start chipping away. Again, a bunch of sheer points are in bad against weak creatures like this.
I will keep Sota Silver people alive.
Yeah, 7/7 dragons don't suck. Well, this is a real problem now. And now we need to last. We need to get there.
Too late for you.
I guess we could punch for 4.
My scales move in shadow.
And then we also need to...
Repel the outlanders.
This sucks that I need to 2-for-1 myself here. I don't see another line. So it looks like the snake would have been the right play off of... Well, that's really good over here now. Let's do this. Get to 8. So we can Dragontail Savior and sheer point something down next turn, like this 2/1. And now we're going to take 8. We go to 10. We can trade here, start clearing the board out. Oh my god. Well, if he has 1 point of reach, we lose. But I still think that this is a great deck for this. Well, there's that Sheer Point Dragon. Sure. We actually can stay alive, right? We can go... Sure point that, kill it. Kill this, that dragon stays alive. Kill this. Yeah, that's fine. None of this is fine. We haven't ramped at all. We are a ramp deck. Yep. It's fine. That's a good draw. But I don't think it matters, right? We just took too much damage off that Halls of the Dwemer. Because we can Territorial Viper into that. That's fine. Whatever. But we don't have... Yeah, let's retry. Play something... Probably should play something with support removal like yellow and purple. Because there's just a ton of support removal in yellow and purple. Actually, for... just this match, for shits and giggles, I'm going to change... Oh, you know what? I retried. I forgot. Okay. Alright. Well, now that we know what our opponent is doing, maybe we can... Maybe it will influence our play differently. Thieves Guild Recruit and Dark Guardian are both good here. Alright, so ship back Leaf Lurker and Drew Leaf Lurker. You know, I'm kind of annoyed about this, and this is a legitimate complaint. Hopefully somebody who developed this game is watching this. It is alarming how many times I mulligan one card and redraw that same card. And I'm not just saying that, because if you rewatch every single video I've created up until this point, you'll actually see it happen quite a few matches. And there haven't been that many matches. So, can someone watching please make an adjustment to this algorithm? Please? Begging you?
What have we here?
Sure. Our opponent just going to Value Town with cards. We have no way to answer any of that.
My scales.
We'll play a Dark Guardian here to eat up some of this damage. Yep. Yep. Give a friendly creature -1 and some okay. Like, that is alright. Alright, cool. So we can go. We can start to do some damage here. We can kill that. There's no way that this survives if we attack into something. Got a little excited. Probably should play Dragon Tail Savior here, right?
The longer the odds, the sweeter the victory.
And also this. Sanctuary Pet would be good. I think we're just gonna kill something and ramp, like. Gotta get there. We had the ring last time, now we don't. Yep. Yep. Okay. That was interesting. We have the opportunity to ramp twice this turn because we can go attack, ramp, and then attack into this Leaf Lurker, ramp.
The forest is my cloak.
And then we can also sanctuary pet something to keep the oh god. Okay, well, the ramping is done. We did ramp 5 times compared to what our opponent did, though, so that doesn't suck. Now we just need to, I think, play Vocal Lord and try to not die. Yeah, it seems totally reasonable. I'm just gonna kill everything. Like, I have no reason not to just do that, right? And then I'll put this over here to contest this in 2 turns. But I think we're fine. Like, even this is fine. All fine. All fine. Let's stay cool. Let's sacrifice that for the greater good. So I can keep myself alive. Put Nahagleave over here. Another Wingkeep Spell Sword. Pass turn. 3 more turns. I need to fade 3 turns. That's not good because it gets the vampire. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Get 2 of those. That's alarmingly superb. Oh my god. Well, we can kill this. We can... We're not attacking into here. We want to force the attack. We can go 8 and 5, so maybe we draw first.
Go then. My time is precious.
Oh, that's actually really good, because we can go...
The forest is my cloak.
You know what? That was a misplay. As stupid as it is, we should have killed this. That way, this eats the 4. Oh, it doesn't matter, because we were going to take 4 somewhere anyway. Yeah, I'm silly. It didn't matter. Alright, this is fine. This is fine. So we win in 2 turns, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So we could attack into this and essentially draw first, so we might as well do that, right? Territorial Viper is a perfect draw. We can ramp. We can play this. Go infinite on value. We'll never trigger that. We unfortunately have to break a rune. And next turn we win. As our opponent can't do 36 to us, and oh my god. So we can just cast this, you win the game. Holy shit. We can do this because we have the enchantment. Let's go to Value Town first before we win. Summon a Power Sphere in each lane. We can't do that. We need to at least have 15 available. We can't do anything else and also have 15 mana available to win. So, like, what if we actually try to do lethal damage and just value out here? Like, what if we just have fun with this match? Would anyone hate if I just had a complete riot with this match? Although, it is possible that because our opponent has 11 on board, they could just kill us. But we also have 11 on board, and we're gaining 7 a turn. I mean, if we fade even 1 turn, we could just win next turn, depending.
I feast on your king.
Oh, God. Okay, so 12 and 11 is 23, and that is close to the limit of what I'm comfortable with. I don't want to do this fight again. I don't think our opponent can do... It's 11... Like, we kill one of these, so it's really only 17 power.
Do not take you.
Alright, so 17 power is nothing, and he probably will kill this. So then we can go Dwarven Colossus over here, plus the Fabricant, which is 15. And then again, if we just fade one turn, we could always just fall back on break the... But I wonder if there's a title or something for doing lethal damage in this match versus just using the break the enchantment action. Oh my god. Never mind. Our opponent may actually just win. Yeah. Alright. Oh my god, we're doing it again! Damn. I'm so disappointed. Like, I wanted that to work so bad. Maybe the AI just draws the cards that it needs to make sure that you can't actually do lethal damage. Oh, these are tied together. That's cool. That animation is neat. Like, look at how boss that looks. Alright.
At last. Once again you have led me to my quarry. My old master ensured I could never break those seals.
Thankfully, you have done it for me.
It's Machinar, the apprentice from Sothasil's memories.
Yes. And it's about time you witness my true power.
Lana says Sothasil. Everybody else says Sothasil. So what's the correct pronunciation? We did level up in this video, which is great. Everyone can... Oh, we got some cool level up rewards. We're going to get there in a second. Let's see what we got here. Dwarven Colossus. Okay, summon a power sphere in each lane. Yeah, I mean... It's cool. And we have Aldor the Daring. It's red, unique, legendary. Treasure hunt for action, creature, item, and support. It gets 6/6, so it becomes a 9/9. Now again, like, you have to go through 4 draw steps and make sure that, like, in a perfect world, the best way you could ever do this would be in 4 draw steps. Or maybe less. Like, if you put this in a deck with, there's a blue and red card, and I don't remember the name of it. It costs 4 to play. But basically, you put an action, a creature, and an item all in your hand. So if you had that in your hand when you play this, you can get 3 of these things, and then all you need to do is draw support. But, like, there are not a lot of supports in this game, so... and besides, this just gets killed as soon as you put it out, right? Someone just targets it and it dies. Okay, so Edict of Azura. Can I tell you how awesome it is that I got this as my level up reward here? And because this makes my 3rd one. So now I have a play set of these. So in yellow and purple, my removal package is insane. On 4, I have 3 Edict of Azuras, and on 5, I have 3 Piercing Javelins. 6 pieces of premium hard removal is really excellent. It just gets anything, you know? And it can also hit a support. So if your opponent tries to go off with those pod hijinks, you can put a swift end to that bullshit.
For centuries I have prepared for this moment, crafting myself into a tool that could absorb this power. Now at last, godhood is mine, and your services are no longer required.
is this the next okay, yeah, the start of Act 3. Alright, well, that was Race Against Time. Really great episode. Got to do a couple of the different puzzles instead of just strictly, combat-based, or match-based. And I think that new introduction is really, really nice. It just gives you the opportunity to play through a different type of game or a different type of match than, again, just taking a deck and playing it against the AI deck. Something that I would really like to see, and again, now that I have a bit more experience playing this, like I'm recording this at the end of, or it's more like the beginning of April. So that's when this is being recorded. And I started at the very end of March, the beginning of April. Now I'm at the middle of April. So only in a couple weeks' time, I've had the opportunity to play through the main story, Fall of the Dark Brotherhood, and Return to Clockwork City. And something I want to share here, because I noticed it a couple times in this last video, and as I was rewatching, I've been trying to rewatch my gameplay videos from the other episodes just to see, like, how bad did I fuck up, right? Like, when you watch this, is it going to be embarrassing for me to post it and for everyone to see how poorly I played? I think the answer is probably not, considering I'm, still pretty much a novice. But the point I'm trying to make here is that after rewatching the videos, I just found myself saying, like, wow, the AI is programmed one way and one way only. The only thing that the AI tries to do is figure out how they can maximize their face damage to you. They don't make strategic plays. They don't make intelligent plays. They just make the play that allows them to do the most face damage, which, again, in an aggressive deck, obviously is the strongest play. But in any other kind of deck, that's not the strongest play. And so I found it myself being able to somewhat predict the AI patterns, and I even noticed the same thing in, again, that one of solo arena run that I ever did. I haven't done another arena since, just because I haven't had the opportunity. I've been too busy to actually sit down and do one. But in that one solo arena run that I did, I found that it was really, really, really just go face, go face, go face. The programming was very linear, and I think that, again, another piece of feedback I would have for anyone playing or for anyone watching who has any pull with the creators of the game is, can you find a way to, balance the AI? This is something that I want to revisit probably down the line in another video, but just as a thought here, as I play through, I try to share my thoughts with everyone watching, because that's the entire point of a Let's Play video series, right? You don't just want to play, you also want to reflect and try to have a balanced review experience. The matches and the episodes and the cards are all, the cards in this are weak, but we'll probably get to that at the end of episode 6. But the matches are good, so that's something the game is doing really well. The AI balance is something that I think needs a bit of improvement. So, hope you all enjoyed watching episode 4, Race Against Time. Thank you very much, as always, and I will see you in the next video.